Pumpkin! It's Halloween!
Or it's not, and I'm too late on getting this video out, and I'm sorry. For this month's video, I have made a list of all the Halloween activities that my toddler brain can think of, and I'm gonna rank them based on how fun they are to do in October. I'm going in this with an adult perspective. I'm 26, I work my 9 to 5, I got joint pain, I take my Metamucil like everyone else. So I'm doing this with a geriatric point of view. Anyways, let's just dive right into this. So first up we have bobbing for apples. Now I'm gonna be honest here, that sounds like the worst kind of activity. Don't get me wrong, it's probably fun for kids who have a stronger immune system than I do, but for someone who gets sick easily, that would absolutely obliterate it. I mean, it's just everyone just sticking their entire face and opening their mouth into a bucket and leaving a good chunk of their DNA behind, making an apple human soup. You might as well just spit in the mouth. This seems like some sort of torture practice they would do in the old days, like they would just grab your face and then while they're drowning you, your face hits a bunch of solid apples. Like... So for all those reasons, I'm tossing this bad boy into the F tier. Next up we have corn mazes, and this is where the 26-year-old geriatric kind of point of view comes in. My legs are shot and I'm always tired, so walking long distances through a maze, getting lost, backtracking and all that crap, that kind of sucks. But if you invite some friends over, it can be a pretty good time. And actually, I went to a corn maze recently, and it was specifically the one in Grants Pass, Fort Vonoy Farms, and it was a pretty damn good time. Roll the clips.
I like my women how I like my corn. I don't like corn.
Just go north.
So which way is fucking north? It's a fucking, it's a motherfucking,
Oh yeah, you think this will
That's
fit?
not for your ass, no.
You gonna finish that?
Correct.
Boo!
I'm just trying to find a good place to shit.
What the fuck is that? Look at that thing.
This man came here to meet a 15-year-old girl. Yes, you did. Hey, come back here.
We're out here in God's country. If you look to your left, corn. If you look to your right, more corn. If you look down, corn. If you look up,
Corn.
that's the sky, you dumbass. Oh, that was so beautiful. But it was alright. Don't get me wrong or anything, that was a pretty fun time. It's just, it wasn't engaging enough. Like, I remember this specific corn maze doing a scavenger hunt, which would make it seem more fun, where you go out, you look through the entire maze, try to find these specific objects, and once you find them, you get entered into a raffle, and me and my fiance won one of those raffles. We got a $50 gift card and a hat. I know it doesn't sound like much, but it makes it worth the walk through an entire corn maze with my old man legs. So corn mazes in general, they're alright. I just recommend doing it with friends. Alright, let's move on to the next one. So the next one is decorating, and I for one love to decorate. You get to turn your boring ass studio apartment that's nothing but 4 white walls and a mattress on the ground into a less boring studio apartment with 4 spooky walls, but still your mattress on the ground. Seriously bro, just go to Goodwill, go pick up a cheap bed frame there. You know, it's not that much money, makes a hell of a difference. Downside, I would say not having enough tacks. You got a whole bunch of shit plugged into your wall, so your electric bill will go up. Some things take batteries, and those are expensive. Oh, and definitely cleaning up, that sucks too. especially cleaning up that cheap dollar store webbing that you put all over your house. You know, that webbing that has a bunch of dead birds and other wildlife stuck in it. Because honest to God, it's a horrible idea and they need to stop selling that. If you want some decent looking webbing, just buy some beef netting. You can reuse it and nothing has to die for your decorating. But with all that said, it's an entire month that your house looks f***ing sick. Here's a little bit of decorating I've been doing at my little abode. It ain't much, but it's enough to get me into the spirit of All Hallows Eve. And I'd show you more of my place, but it looks like a shithole right now. So I hella enjoy it. I'm sticking that bad boy in the A tier. It's pretty fun. Alright, so this next one actually kind of makes me a little sad. I used to go all out on my costumes. I used to create everything from scratch, homemade everything. Just the process of making my own costume was very fun to me. I had this signature costume which I called the Halloween King, and it all started with a smiley mask. Plain white theatrical mask always looked cool to me. It's just 2 crescent eyes and a big old crescent smiley face. That's it. I started off with just my homemade wooden version of the mask. Later, I found out there's an anime called Black Bullet. There's a guy named Hiruko Katagane or some shit like that, and he had this cool mask. And apparently, you can buy the mask that he wears, and that's exactly what I did. It cost me like 50 bucks from China, but the moment I got it, dude, I fell in love. So I created costume after costume after costume, and then I discontinued the mask, and then I went straight for just keeping the crescent eye look. And I had a bearded dragon who I loved a lot, and when he passed away, I took his ashes and I put it in a concrete pumpkin. I copied it off of Pinterest. Kind of regret that because I have to lug that son of a bitch all around, but he has a cool tombstone. I took his tombstone look and then I tried to turn that into a cool paper mache Halloween helmet. Like, this was my most proud costume. I gave it the crescent eyes and a nice sharp smile on there, have a little gooey-ness on it to give it a Halloween spooky vibes. I gave it that teal color because it matches the tombstone. The tombstone had the blue on it because my lizard just seemed to have comfort in that specific color. But overall, the costume was just me upgrading the previous costume. You know, keeping the tux look and then keeping the crescent eye mask kind of look, but this time now I'm a pumpkin. You know, I just kept on evolving it. I had a cool Flowey costume. I made sexy Flowey. Here, let me put some cursed images up. Yeah, you like that? Yeah. Before I started making all these cool costumes, I did have a cringy phase where I was into MapleStory. I was into that crap. I was that cringy werewolf kid in high school, that fucking anime kid, except it was with MapleStory, dude. I tried copying my character's look. Like, let me just show you real quick.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the?
I look like one of Papa Smurf's bastard children watched anime once, and that became their whole personality. You know how Smurfs' names are just basically adjectives that emphasize their characteristics? Well, to put it lightly, I would be called Weeby. And to put it harshly, I would be called or even yes, that was a lovely time. So nowadays, I don't actually make my costumes anymore. It's just store-bought crap for me. I don't really have the time to do that. I work 24/7. So this year I was actually something that I wanted to be for no apparent reason. It's Skelebaner. You know what? Let me just show you. Just
here's your boner skeleton.
my boner skeleton, huh? Yeah, that was pretty much it. Now, as far as ranking this, I'm gonna be putting this as it's alright. I don't really dress up anymore. I don't have the time to make my own costumes. You know, honestly, I could do without it. But, you know, it's Halloween. You dress up on Halloween. I can't say no to that. So, I'm gonna put it as B tier. I'm sorry. That's all I gotta say. Moving on. Let me shake things up a little bit and make trick-or-treating and giving out candy a package deal. I never have a bad experience with trick-or-treating. Just kidding, I remember shitting a 2x4 and some spare change when I tried to grab candy out of a bowl on what I thought was an inanimate Halloween prop, but it turns out it was just some bitch who thought it was a great night to put a child through therapy. Other than that, I usually just got lucky and scored those full-size candy bars like it was nothing. And oddly enough, it was those rich neighborhoods who gave out the shitty little tiny candy, and it was like the lower middle class neighborhoods that gave out those full-size bars. Weird, right? Those stingy pieces of shit. And I would 100% go out trick-or-treating if it was socially acceptable for a grown-ass man to go out, knock on people's doors, and ask for a handout without getting shot in the head. Now, giving out candy is equally fun. I'm able to give back to the community now, except I rarely get trick-or-treaters. I give like 5 kids max, and whoever the last kid is, they get a whopping 20 pounds of type 1 diabetes. I just pour the whole bowl in and call it a night. Though this year I am dirt broke, so I hope they like top ramen in a single piece of 5 gum. So I am tossing these up to S tier immediately. Halloween wouldn't be Halloween without giving and taking candy. They are literally what makes Halloween Halloween. So this next one is Halloween specials. This one is immediately going straight up to S tier. I don't know a damn person who doesn't like watching Halloween specials. Whether it's your favorite cartoon like Ed, Edd n Eddy, Phineas and Ferb, Regular Show, or like a classic family movie like Hocus Pocus, Nightmare Before Christmas, Coraline, or even horror movies like VHS, Nightmare on Elm Street, the Halloween movies with Michael Myers, etc. My lame ass doesn't really watch horror movies anymore. But there's something for everyone. I mean, who doesn't like to get cozy with a cup of pumpkin spice whatever and watch a man get decapitated by an unworldly being beyond our comprehension? S tier. End of story. Alright, I'm gonna go at this at random. F you, I can do what I want. Pranks. We out here doing that wacky witch shit. We smoking lizard tails and frog feet. We egging churches and conjuring curses. The fuck I look like? 12? I don't know anyone who does pranks on Halloween anymore. And I mean, I can't say it's absolute garbage, but I'm sticking this in D tier because it ain't fun at all. I mean, shit, I live in America. I ain't risking getting shot for the shits and giggles. That was a pretty fast ranking. I'm doing a tier list speedrun any percent. Alrighty, so next I'll do haunted houses. I actually haven't been to one in years, so it doesn't really make or break my Halloween. I used to run my own haunt. It was called Realms of Fright, but later I had to close it down because funding, and it wasn't really a good time, nor a good place for a haunt. That being said, I don't really go out and seek a haunted house so I can have someone scare the piss out of my balls. But, growing up, I really did like haunted houses, and not just for the scares or anything like that. I liked it because of the setups, just the looks of haunted houses. It really gave you that feeling of Halloween with the skeletons and animatronics and crap. That stuff's awesome. Even the worst haunts still give you that awesome feeling of Halloween. So sadly, I'm still gonna throw this into at least C tier. I can't say it's not fun because they are fun, but I honestly can do without them. Because like I said, I don't really go out and seek them, and they don't really make or break my Halloween. Now, the next one I'm going to be doing is Halloween parties. And let me just give you a quick little video on how I feel about parties.
We're gonna burn it down. Burn it down. We're gonna burn it down. Burn it down. I killed it, it's murder. I killed it, it's murder. I killed it, it's murder. I killed it, it's murder.
I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker.
Show them. Change the station with a new shit. Change the station. Change the station. Change the station with a new shit.
You know, that could have been longer, but I was plastered 90% of that party, so damn near all of my footage is dog shit. Now this one is S tier. And I know I made myself out to seem like some old man who hates parties, but I actually like Halloween parties. And enough alcohol in my body will numb all my pain so I can go all night like the Energizer Bunny. Since 2015, I used to have a party every single year up until this point. Now this year, I actually passed the torch down to my sister and brother-in-law, so they hosted the party. I just don't have the time, energy, or money anymore to keep it going, but it doesn't stop me from going to one. Alrighty, next one. So actually I'm gonna take this one out right here. This one is pumpkin spice, and it's not really a Halloween activity. You can't really have an activity with pumpkin spice, or you can and I just don't know it yet. But in general, for pumpkin spice, I'm just gonna stick it and could do without. I'm not the biggest fan of pumpkin spice stuff. But anyways, that gets that one out of the way. This here at the end is pumpkin patches. Now, a pumpkin patch is such a nice and gorgeous place, except for the fact that you find more white women there than you find pumpkins. There's just so goddamn many of them. Now at the same farm as the corn maze, I went to that pumpkin patch there too. So we went over to the pumpkin patch and the first thing we saw was a picture board. And yes, I did it. Next we just kept walking around until we found ourselves the perfect pumpkin. So the missus is actually new to going to a pumpkin patch, so I had to teach her the ropes, show her the ways of how to find the perfect pumpkin. I'm giving her my 2-step program. Step 1, give it a little knock.
No one's home.
Step 2, and this is advanced. Be the pumpkin. Just kidding, I don't know shit. None of that made any sense. Just keep walking around until you find the perfect pumpkin. And that is what we did. We kept walking around. And after all of those pumpkins that we came across, we took home this tiny ass white one. You know, after that entire experience of going to the pumpkin patch, all of it was pretty much for nothing because we just went to our local Fred Meyer's and just picked up some pumpkins for carving. And it was much cheaper too. Now, as far as ranking this goes, it's sad to say this, but it was just a bunch of walking around for nothing in my eyes. Pumpkins were cheaper at the store, so I could do without it. I'm running out of steam of ranking things. How many more do I got? 3? Oh, this next one right here is Halloween crafts, and it's a pretty chill activity. I used to make my own Halloween props, and I kinda still do. Made a mutant spider baby once. That was fun. You know, I think I still have that. Let me go see if I still have that. I'm back. Any terrifying? I also found some candy. Delicious. Now I know I'm ranking these pretty fast, but some of these I just have an answer for them. Halloween crafts, A rank. They're pretty fun. And the thing is, you don't have to be very artsy to do any Halloween crafts. There are plenty of easy Halloween crafts to do for anyone, and then you can just decorate your house with them. Here, let me just pew pew and a pew pew. Some examples. Look, those look pretty easy, right? Easy stuff, huh? Yeah, A rank. Alrighty, so now these last two I'm gonna do as a package deal. Making cookies and carving pumpkins. I'm doing this because I did both of them on the exact same weekend. And I did this with my rad and totally tubular family. Is that the new hip lingo all the kids are saying these days? But seriously, I want to take the time to thank both my brother and mother-in-law for taking the time themselves to make and bake these cookies. Y'all are beautiful people. Now, we spent a good chunk of time just meticulously decorating all of these cookies. That means I only did like 3. I only had like enough brain power to think of 3 cookie ideas. The 3 main things I could think of to make out of a cookie would be a dead dinosaur. Because there was a dinosaur cookie that had its legs broken off. A pizza that had a bit more crust than usual. Ooh. And the scariest one of them all, the My Little Pony cum jar. Classic. Now here's all the cookies the family and I created. Such talent, am I right? Now before I rank this, let's move on to the pumpkin carvings. Now real quick, let me show you guys a couple of my pumpkin carvings that I've done throughout the years. Now check out all this absolute raw talent. Okay, let's move on. Now, here we have everyone gathering around the table to brutally murder one of God's many gifts. Thank you for your sacrifice, you precious gourd. But now I must carve unto your flesh. And let's just give it some of this. Yeah. Yeah. And one of these. Yeah, alright.
I'm doing it! I'm doing it! Yeah! Yeah! And some of these, and some of these. Almost there!
And I'm done. It's Monty Gator. Cause who doesn't love this gorgeous creature? I didn't make him for any other reason than I just like him. Okay, here is everyone's lovely pumpkins. Got ourselves a bunch of artists up in here. Eat your heart out, Adolf. Now I'm ranking both of these as A tier. I loved every second of being with my family, but the god-awful cleanup and pain and suffering that I endured by just trying to make everything perfect. It was just too much. Too much. Well, that's pretty much it now. Go ahead and comment below what you did this season. I would love to hear it. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And thank you for being very patient with me as I tried to get this video out. I know I'm late, but I'm trying. I'm trying!